Welcome to Maka's Journey, a transition story. We are on episode 9. Look at that. I want to say hi to my 11 subscribers. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, please like and share. Let's get that video out there to everyone. If you have any questions, please ask. I'm starting to figure out how to find all of the comments and get at them. Got at a bunch of my Facebookers today. I thought today we'd talk about sexuality and sexual attraction, a little bit about gender. I already talked a bit about gender. Definitions is a big thing, right? There's so many different words out there, and one good site that I just found is lgbtqia.fandom.com. If you're a sci-fi, if you're a gamer, you probably are familiar with this site. They do a lot of stuff on off subjects. It's a lot of viewer submitted stuff, but it's listed as the LGBTQIA wiki. So I went there, and they're very interesting. They make it go down to subsets. I'm also using healthline.com. Right? Yes, healthline.com. They have a big thing of definitions as well, but they have explanations down underneath, definitions of the words right underneath them. So I like that. Makes it easy to go through and look at where everything is. So, so we've got the LGBTQIA. So the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, and asexual, and then the plus. Now I don't know. I think that we've got non-binary that should be in there somewhere. Maybe it's a subset of just being transgender. I'm not sure, but what does all this stuff mean? Transgender has to do with having a different gender identity than that assigned to you at birth. And then non-binary is having two gender qualities. You have both masculine and feminine male qualities about you. Asexual people experience very little sexual attraction to people. Intersex is having genitals, chromosomes, or reproductive organs that don't fit into the binary male-female. And then queer is a spectrum. I mean, most of these are not set categories. They're all kind of a spectrum. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I started thinking about the difference between transgender, transsexual. Transsexual is not, some people don't like it. I think of it as transgender. That's from the day you're born, you're identifying as something different than what was written down. That's all that means. So it's easy to be a transgender non-binary. I don't fit that, but I have both qualities. Where am I fitting? Growing up, I just knew about bisexual, homosexual, and heterosexual. That's all that we had. We didn't really define things any more than that. As I knew that I wasn't gay, so, do I fit into this bisexual area or not? I really wasn't sure. It was after 2020, I became a lot more interested in all of the different terms that were coming around, because in the 21st century, we've really advanced in a lot of different areas. And understanding of the LGBTQIA plus community is one of them, and our understanding of trans and how that spectrum fits, because not everyone who's trans looks like me. Some people look just like you'd think they'd look. Am I saying that right? I don't think I'm saying that right. Just because you're transgender does not mean that you're trying to change who you are. So that's the thing about transsexual. A transsexual is someone who started modifying their body. Some people look at that as an antiquated terminology, and they would rather use the words just plain transgender or non-binary. But I think that they're very specific myself, and um, I understand that going by she-male is not good. That's a porn term, so no one likes that. But transsexual just means that you're starting to do something, whether it's when I started taking all the hair off my body and changing my eyebrows, um, or what. I realized um, last year that I'm in that transsexual area already. I was like, when do I become a trans woman? When can I say I am a trans woman now? For myself, I thought that I needed to at least wait until I was taking hormones. I couldn't call myself a woman until I was starting to do that. So I originally introduced myself to my pastor as just bisexual. Um, I've come to realize that it was not bisexuality. Um, it's more than that. I had to go in looking at that. So you find out that sexuality, just like gender, can be on a spectrum. And so we go to this website and we start looking up all these things. Allosexual just means that you have a sexual attraction. That's all it means. So I guess you have asexual and allosexual. That's my understanding. Androsexual, andro being, I don't know, it's a masculine thing. Does it have to do with testosterone or something? But androsexual is being attracted to masculinity, men, trans men, and the like. So asexual is someone who identifies as a member of the asexual community, experiences little or no sexual attraction to others of any gender, which is kind of odd, huh? That's too bad. Autosexual. Now here's an interesting one, because you think about weightlifters and all that, looking in the mirrors and looking at their bodies. Oh man, look at me, I'm so beautiful, aren't I? They're autosexual, a person who's sexually attracted to themselves. And it also goes on to say that someone's desire to engage in sexual behavior such as masturbation doesn't determine whether they're autosexual. And I believe that one actually comes in later. Let's hope I remember to do that. And again, this is all on healthline.com if you want to go and look at it. I think I just put in, I can't remember what my search was. How many types of sexual attraction? I think that's all that I did. And I get all of this. So you can do your own homework at times too. That's why I love Google. It's almost the best invention we got, isn't it? Autoromantic, an autosexual, a person who's sexually attracted to themselves, bicurious, bisexual, biromantic, so same type of thing. It's a person who experiences romantic attraction but not sexual attraction to people of more than one gender. Closeted, someone who's just not telling anyone their sexual attractions coming out. Copiosexual describes asexual people who don't experience sexual attraction but still have a desire to engage in sexual behavior or a sexual relationship. Demisexual, this sexual orientation describes people who experience sexual attraction only under specific circumstances, such as after building a relationship. So demi-romantic will work with that, and fluid and fluidity and all that, like gender fluid, is describing that there's a lot of spectrums in all of this, and fluidity. Things can change over time. So somewhere in here, there's something about your gender being changing over time. Gay, gray sexual talks about the gray areas that aren't who don't explicitly and exclusively identify as asexual and aromantic. So they're out there, but don't understand that they don't fall into anything. Here's gynosexual, which they say is being attracted to the femininity, women and trans women. And that's where I was saying that's femsexual. Isn't that a better word than gynosexual? I've known people who don't like moist. They don't like that word. And people who don't like gonads, they'd rather say balls than gonads. But gynosexual, for some reason, I don't like that term. Gynosexual. Heterosexual, homosexual, lesbian, we know all about that stuff. Libidoist asexual, a term used to describe an asexual person who experiences sexual feelings that are satisfied through self-stimulation or masturbation. So there's that one from earlier. If you're doing all that, you're libidoist, asexual. Monosexual is just be attracted to one, exclusively heterosexual, gay, or lesbian. Non-libidoist means you're attracted to anyone. So referring to an identity on the asexuality spectrum, a non-libidoist asexual is someone who doesn't experience any sexual feelings or has any sex drive. Poor them. Omnisexual, similar to pansexual, and can be used to describe people whose sexuality isn't limited to those of a particular gender, sex, or sexual orientation. And pansexual, so this is people who experience sexual, romantic, or emotional attraction to any person, regardless of that person's gender, sex, or sexuality. Polysexual is an umbrella term that covers bisexuality, pansexuality, omnisexuality, and queer, among others. Q through Z, we're getting down there. Queer, questioning, or is it sapiosexual, those who experience attraction based on intelligence. So I've heard people say that they look for that mind. I mean, they're looking for, the opposite sex. They were. But there are those that are only looking for intelligence. That's what attracts them. That's what turns them on. As you're nailing, they're saying, give me the root of 287. That's their sexual drive, right? Sex averse, I think we kind of see what that one is, sexual attraction. So where are these others I want to get into down here? No, I thought there were more. Okay. There's scoliosexual, a sexual orientation that describes people who are sexually attracted to those with non-cisgender identities, such as non-binary, queer gender, and trans. And then spectrosexual, a term that describes people who are sexually or romantically attracted to multiple and varied sexes, genders, and gender identities, but not necessarily all or any. Now, I'm certain that not everything is on this list, and there may or may not be more at the LGBTQIA.fandom.com. They only listed 40. They said that there were 4 listed there, and I didn't count all of these, so I'm not sure what's there and what's here. But after reading something like this, I started to understand my own gender, sexuality, and sexual attraction a lot more. So I realized that last year I was non-binary, and as I've moved and progressed, I have now moved into being a trans woman. I finally accepted that. I'm taking the name. I'm starting to change everything, and it's just understanding that everything's a spectrum. And I didn't see it. I can't remember where that was. But the thing about your gender changing through time, that was in there somewhere. We have to go back and relook at some of these. But coming down, that was the big thing, understanding where I fit in. So I understood that I was pansexual. I can be attracted to anyone. I don't know who I'm going to be attracted to. 2 people may look very similar, and I may be attracted to one and not the other. I don't know. Sometimes I have to meet you and talk to you before I understand that. And that's been hard for some people that I've met to understand. They seem to think that by approaching me and saying hello, that I'm going to jump into something with them. And I'd like to get to know someone. I'd like to see you face to face. If we've only communicated online, I'm not going to do much in the way of opening up because I don't know who you are. Once we've met and I know you're real, I'm much more open about things. So this is probably something that we'll come back to during my journeys. But this is just kind of a definition thing to kind of get out there all of the different different sexualities that you can have. There's a lot of different people in the world. We're all a little bit different, and it's fun to get to know different people. So I think that we've gone long enough today, so I'm going to go. We will definitely pick this subject up again another day, though. So until then, take care, and I'm Mika. Bye-bye.